Showdown between the host Kimberly Papermakers and the top-ranked Neenah Rockets. How you doing, everybody? This is Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin. Very excited to bring you yet another Varsity Game of the Week prep basketball live stream. A number of fantastic games we've had this season that continues tonight. A big game going on between these two storied programs. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Joining me tonight, we got a treat. We got our Rusty Staub. I was just joking him. There's an old reference for any of the older crowd out there, our pinch hitter extraordinaire. Mike Sherry, sports planning editor for USA Today Network Wisconsin. He's filling in for Ricardo Arguello. Ricardo is off tonight, can't be here, but we're bringing the A-team here, Mike. So welcome, and how are you doing? And I'm sure you're looking forward to this big game.
Doing well. I don't know about Rusty Staub. I think I'm just rusty.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've done this, but really looking forward to this tonight, Brett. Two best teams in the FVA, two of the best boys basketball programs in the state, two of the best coaching staffs, and two of the best head coaches in the state with Coach Murphy on the Kimberly sideline and Coach Robis on the Neenah sideline. So it's going to be an outstanding game. The first time they met, it was a great game, and we expect a great game again tonight.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. That was a 2-point victory for the Rockets. We'll talk about that as the game gets going. But before we talk about this game a little bit, also another pinch hitter, Jim Rosendick, is not here as well. So how did we get this stream going? We got the secret weapon. I guess we can only call him CC. Folks out there might know who CC is, but that is the secret weapon. So he's handling the high-definition cameras. But I got to give Jim Rosendick kudos because he was able to do some stuff pre-game or before he had to head out of town for the evening to make sure that we were good to go here for the stream and make sure the stream was set up and the cameras were ready to go. So, but we appreciate CC for being here. I owe him some fast food burgers after this one, Mike.
CC, it's not Craig Counsell, is it?
Not Craig Counsell.
All right.
But we just call him CC. But yeah, a funny thing happened on the way to the FVA championship, right? Appleton East was kind of maybe that preseason favorite, and all of a sudden, here you go. Neenah not having Cal Klesmet the entire season. He tore his ACL in the summer, so people were thinking, what are going to happen to the Rockets? A talented team, but you lose arguably your star player. And then conversely, on the other side, Kimberly kind of got off to a little bit of a rough start, a transition year with John Murphy now taking over as head coach for Lucky Wirtz. They've had a gauntlet of a schedule. We'll talk about that here. And all of a sudden, they're red hot. The Rockets have won 17 in a row, and these are the two top teams. A chance for Kimberly, or I should say for Neenah, to really take command of the FVA race and have a 2-game lead. Right now they have a 1-game lead over the Rockets. On the other side of the coin, a chance for the Rockets to even things up, and maybe it would be kind of fitting for these two storied programs to end up being tied for the FVA championship again. But here they are, and it's just kind of business as usual for these two teams.
Yeah, I know Appleton East got a lot of publicity before the season, and some people picked them to win the conference title. But like you said, we're here now with probably the two teams that you expected to be here fighting for the conference championship. Always an adjustment when you have a new coach, even one who's got as much experience and as much rings as Coach Murphy does. There's always going to be an adjustment, and he's talked all year about how young they were with Jackson Pawelecki and Owen Polakowski being their two leaders, and pretty much the rest of the team kind of getting some of their first experience with varsity basketball. So that's why they got off to the slow start, not to mention the schedule that you said has been brutal for them. But like you said, here they are, and tonight we'll find out who's the best team. Yeah,
there's no doubt that non-conference schedule has them really battle-tested, and they've really kind of grown and gelling, playing their best basketball of the season without a doubt here down the stretch. And for the Rockets, I think a credit to their balance, both sides of the floor. So good offensively. So many guys can hurt you, but defensively they clamp down, and it's just a really good coaching job by both of these guys. So let's get to the game notes here before we get going, as both teams are on the floor for warm-ups. I'm going to do Kimberly, and then I'll pass it over to Neenah. Kimberly enters tonight's game 14-6 overall, 12-2 in the Fox Valley Association. The Papermakers, winners of 10 of their last 11 games, also riding a 9-game conference winning streak. They're coming off a 68-52 non-conference victory over Stevens Point on Tuesday here at Kimberly, a game we streamed. Jackson Pawelecki finished with 25 points to pace the Papermakers, while Owen Polakowski added 15. Seth Myron, he chipped in with 9 points. Kimberly led by 9 at the half, and then opened the second half with a big run to take command of the game. On the season, Pawelecki, of course, a Wofford recruit. He leads the Papermakers in scoring at 29.2 points per game. That's also tops in the FVA and ranks 5th in the state. Polakowski is next at 14.4 points, followed by Seth Myron at 11.2 points. Polakowski and Pawelewski are the team's top rebounders at 5.6 and 5.3 per game respectively. That was actually heading into the Spash game. Didn't see updated totals on that, but that's about where they are, I think, coming into this game as well. Pawelewski, 6.6 assists per game, led Kimberly in that category. That ranks second in the conference. Overall, the Papermakers are averaging 81.1 points per game. They can fill it up and allowing 69.1. And Mike, before I hand it off to you, I think that's the big thing that you want to see with Kimberly improve down the stretch defensively. They can score, but defensively, they got to get tighter on that end of the floor if they're going to get to the Kohl Center, because they're going to run into teams, and we've seen it with that non-conference schedule, that teams can fill it up against them as well.
Yeah, that's why I think this game will be so interesting, because both teams can score. I mean, this game could be in the 90s or even the hundreds, or it could be down in the 50s or 60s. It just depends how much defense is played tonight. So let's head over to the Neenah notes here. The Rockets come into tonight's game with 19-1 overall, 13-1 in the Fox Valley Association. They've won 17 games in a row and are ranked number 1 in the state in Division I in both the Associated Press and WizSports.net coaches polls this week. And they're coming off a 103-43 victory over Appleton West on Tuesday in an FVA matchup at Ron Einerson Fieldhouse.
Is that a rout?
That's a rout.
That's a 60-point game, Mike. I mean, come on.
I don't like to use the word rout too often, because then the parents send me bad emails about
it was a rout.
being too negative, but yeah, that's a big margin.
Oh man, wow.
Four Rockets scored in double figures for Neenah that night. Carter Thomas led the way with 22 points. He was 8 for 10 from the field and also had 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals. Chevalier Emery Jr. added 19 points on 8 for 14 shooting. Also chipped in with 6 assists and 3 steals against the Terrors. Matt Young scored 16 points, was 7 for 8 from the field, and pulled down 7 rebounds. And J.J. Pater also had a good night with 11 points and 13 rebounds for the Rockets. He was 5 of 6 from the field. Neenah shot 63% overall and 43% from three-point range in that game, and they made 9 three-pointers. For the season, Brett, Chevalier Emery Jr. leads the Rockets in scoring with 17.9 points per game. He's shooting 46% overall and 35% from three-point range. His 33 made three-pointers are second on the team. Carter Thomas is second, averaging 15.2 points and shooting 50% overall and 47% from three-pointers. And Pater is third with 10.6 points a game and shooting 68% overall. Brady Corso, a sophomore, is fourth, averaging 9.8 points a game, shooting 45% overall and 44% on three-pointers. And he's made the most three-pointers this season for the Rockets with 39. Pater's the top rebounder for Neenah with 9.8 per game, which ranks him third currently in the FVA. Emery Jr. is averaging 3-point assists per game to pace Neenah in that category. As a team, the Rockets are shooting 50% overall and 38% from three-point range, and they're holding opponents to 41% overall shooting. Neenah's also out-rebounding its opponents 31.4 to 20 per game and averaging 16 assists and 8 steals per game. Coming up next after tonight, the FVA games get back into action on Saturday night. Kimberly will be playing at Appleton West, and Neenah will be hosting Oshkosh North. But we got tonight's game to deal with first.
Yeah, but rare Saturday night games, right, as we're getting close to the end of the season. So can't believe we're talking how quickly the season's gone by. We're almost into mid-February. I think, don't the girls have their seeding brackets going to be coming out this weekend maybe for the tournament?
Yeah, I think the seeding meetings are this weekend.
And that's going to be all computerized too, I believe,
right,
as well. So, yeah, so look forward to that and seeing what the brackets look like on the girls' side. Next week will be the boys' side, and we will be streaming regional, sectional, boys and girls basketball. We're going to have some unbelievable matchups. Again, Mike and I were talking, I don't recall a season like this, particularly in the Appleton market. So many state-ranked teams. It's been a treat to check this out without a doubt. One quick note I want to say. Something for the Rockets they're going to have to contend with tonight. No Eli Schmidt tonight. We were there at Neenah when the Rockets beat the Polar Bears a couple games ago, and Eli rolled his ankle pretty bad. Unfortunately, he won't be able to play tonight. Looks like Matt Young's going to be in his place starting 5. But, you know, that's a big loss. It's a kid who's 6'5", a good rebounder, a good glue guy. He can score. He's close to 10 points a game. So hopefully the young man can get back on the court here soon. I can actually see him. He's got a boot on right now in street clothes. So that's a key player to be missing for Lee Rubbis. But again, team is always the concept at Neenah. So we'll see. Matt Young's a tough competitor, football player, quarterback, going to play at, I think, Winona State, or Mankato State, I want to say. So he's going to bring a rugged toughness to that lineup as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's a big, strong kid. He'll give him good defense tonight, but maybe certainly no replacement for Eli Schmidt.
All right, we'll get to the starting 5 here in a moment, but first our national anthem.
We encourage you to join in singing.
Before we get going, always a big thank you to Ryan McGinnis, the athletic director here at Kimberly High School, for making sure we're set up good to go. We got prime seats, prime press box seats tonight. So thank you to Ryan and his staff. They always take very good care of us. Always good to work with Ryan. And by the way, folks, stick with us at halftime. Ryan McGinnis will be our halftime guest. I know Mike's going to ask him a few questions. Kimberly's been in the news. They just hired a new football coach to replace Steve Jones. So some good conversation coming up with Ryan McGinnis at the half. So don't log off. Stay with us because you're not going to want to miss that.
As long as he remembers to come up, right?
He's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy during his games. He might forget to come up by us. Hopefully not.
All right, let's get the starting 5 here for this big game. First for the visiting Neenah Rockets. A 6-foot senior guard, number 3, Chevalier Emery Jr. A 6-foot sophomore guard, number 12, Brady Corso. A 6'7" senior forward, number 13, J.J. Piter. A 6'3" senior forward, number 20, Matt Young. And a 6'5" senior forward, number 21, Carter Thomas. That's Emery Jr., Corso, Piter, Young, and Thomas for Lee Rubbis's Neenah Rockets. Top-ranked team in the state in Division I. For the Kimberly Papermakers, a 6'4" senior guard, number 1, Owen Polakowski. A 6'1" senior guard, number 4, Jamison Grawl. A 6'5" junior guard, number 5, Seth Myron. A 6'2" senior guard, number 13, Jackson Pavletsky. And a 6'4" senior forward, number 44, A.J. Van Vonderen. That's Polakowski, Grawl, Myron, Pavletsky, and Van Vonderen for John Murphy's Kimberly Papermakers.
Brett, we knew it was a big game tonight, and you can tell by some of the coaches who aren't coaching tonight are in attendance here. Former Appleton East coach and current Menasha assistant John Milkey is
he here?
He's sitting.
Oh, sure.
He's sitting courtside.
With a bag of popcorn.
Sitting with a few of his former assistant coaches at Appleton East are with him.
Yeah. Good to see John. He's one of our favorites.
Absolutely.
Where's the towel and the bottle of water, right?
I'm not sure. He's wearing a baseball cap. I'm not sure I've ever seen him wearing a baseball cap before. But it just shows the magnitude of the game, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people know it's going to be a good one. They expect it to be a good one, and certainly a much better crowd than there was the other night. Granted, it's Stevens Point had a bit of a travel on a Tuesday night, so that kept the crowd down a little bit on Tuesday night. But real good crowd tonight. Expect it to be a lot of energy in the gym.
Absolutely. FBA championship really up for grabs in this one. Hey, thanks to our sponsor, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Get your team, club, or business name out there with Cooney's. They customize products specifically to fit their customers' needs. Family owned for 20 years, they have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Delivery service is available. Contact them today at 920-731-0922 or send them an email at Cooney's, COONEYS 0922 at sbcglobal.net. We are underway. Neenah controls the tip. There's Emery Jr. over to Corso, and you're right, Mike. Great crowd here. You knew it would be, right? 2 storied programs, so many FBA championships, and it's just great to see normalcy slowly but surely returning. There's Emery Jr., 3 from the wing. Good, nothing but net. And a good start for the Rockets.
You're always curious to see how these teams come out, if they'll be feeling a little nervous early in the game.
Good matchup, too, there. Emery Jr. guarding Jackson Paveletzky, 2 of the very best in this area. Polakowski kicks out to Paveletzky. Tough left hand. So smooth, and Paveletzky, Mike, is one of those players. He can turn it on seemingly at will. We saw that against Spash. I've seen that against other teams. It's like he's kind of having a pedestrian night, and all of a sudden he goes off for like 12 straight points. Nice little pass off the turnover. That's Piter with the basket. Quick 5-0 lead for Neenah.
Piter scored 9 points the first time these teams played. You were talking about Paveletzky. He scored 29 in the first meeting against Neenah. But he's also had a 50-point game this year against De Pere and 45 against East.
Well, and there he is right there with a hard take to the glass. Just elevates and explodes. You can see why he's going to Wofford, a Division I player. Emery Jr. also going to Merrimack College. Plays in Division I basketball as well.
Near Boston, isn't it?
Is that where? Yeah, I think it's out in Massachusetts. Yep. Yeah. Carter Thomas. That's short. And here comes Paveletzky. Yeah, that was a 2-point game that was back on January 4th at Neenah. 76-74, Neenah winning that one. And Eli Schmidt put back at the buzzer, right before the buzzer sounded, gave the Rockets the 2-point win. And it seems like anytime these two teams play, it is nip and tuck throughout. There's a jumper, nothing but net. You can't do that. I've seen him hit that way too many times. That's way too much space for Jackson.
Well, he can score from anywhere on the court, and he's not afraid to take it to the basket as well. So certainly a good start for him and for Kimberly to get him off early in the game.
Yeah, you see like Emery Jr., senior. There he is going to take another 3. Ooh, I thought that was good off his hand, but short. I'm going to miss watching these guys play. You've been watching these kids play for a number of years now. There's Paveletzky going for 3. Wow, how about that? He's got all 7 of the Papermakers' points. Nothing but net for Paveletzky, and the Papermakers with their first lead of the night.
Tuesday night he did most of his scoring in the second half, but he's coming out hot from the start tonight.
Yeah, he had 16 in the second half against Spash, finishing with 25 points. And he doesn't need much space, but he's such a good creator because he's so good with the ball. Good kick out to Corso, who's a good lefty 3-point shooter, misses it, and offensive rebound, second chance opportunity for the Rockets. There's Carter Thomas on the cut, and a nice look by Piter. Good team basketball for the Rockets, and we're tied up. That's what I'm talking about with Neenah. They are so good at just playing together.
Good take there by Paveletzky. Wouldn't be surprised to see him try to do that all night, if for no other reason, just to tire out Emery Jr. a little bit, maybe get him in a little foul trouble if he can.
Does Emery Jr. get tired, though? That's the thing.
That is a good question.
He never stops. There's Seth Myron working hard against Carter Thomas, and a good basket by Myron, who's really developed into a nice player as well. 6'5", good lengthy frame. The nephew, by the way, of John Myron, the current Freedom head coach. And by the way, John, if you're watching tonight, congratulations to you on your nomination into the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Well-deserved, Mike, and long overdue.
Hopefully John's here. If he's not playing tonight, hopefully he's here watching in person.
Yeah, maybe he is doing a great job with Freedom. By the way, tough take and basket by Emery Jr., but the Rockets, or the Irish, ranked. Look at this. Paveletzky feeling it already. He's got 10. He doesn't need much space, I'm telling you, Mike.
Should we remind everybody that he had a 50-point game this year?
Well, we might see one again. There's Carter Thomas with the left-handed finish. Whoa, back and forth we go. Grawl now from the wing. Good. And the Papermakers red hot from three-point range to start this game. That's the third triple of the night already for Kimberly.
It's been a lot of open looks, Brett. Defenses have been a step slow tonight, or else the offenses have just been working that well so far. A lot of wide open looks.
Myron picks up the foul, so one foul apiece. You're looking at the team fouls. Chevalier Emery Jr. already with 5 points, looking to add to that total as he is towing the free throw line. First free throw attempts of the night for either team, and that one is good. Yeah, Eli Schmidt's left-handed putback in the final seconds in that January 4th game. That was the game winner as the Rockets outlasted the Papermakers. Carter Thomas led Neenah with 22 points that night.
And Schmidt scored 18 points in that first meeting.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Which was his season high, and he's averaging 9 a game. So,
yeah, so
not having him out there is a big deal.
Exactly. We streamed that game when he went down, and he was definitely in some pain. Nice spin move. Look at Emery Jr., and we're tied up. He's got 9, so the guard's showing off here tonight.
Entertaining first 5 minutes, Brett.
Pavletsky with 10, Emery Jr. with 9, and Pavletsky draws the foul, and that is the second now in Emery Jr.
Second foul.
And Rockets fans not happy about that one at all. You see Emery Jr., he's talking to the official here a little bit, wanting some things. And Pavletsky misses his first. Pavletsky, by the way, in line to become Kimberly's all-time leading scorer, boys or girls tonight. So we'll see that.
How many did he need coming into
Needs 27 to become Kimberly's all-time leading scorer. Did Pavletsky miss both? He did.
He did.
Maddie Schreiber, actually, the freshman at UW Green Bay, the current holder with 1,483 points. She's doing some good stuff for Kevin Borseth in the Phoenix right now. Good pass and tough finish by Young. That's tough. He was kind of pinned under that backboard, but was able to kind of use his strength to free up, and that one was good. 3 ball from the corner by Myron, no good, and here comes Piter, the big guy, handling the basketball. Good game here to start out this big battle. Again, Neenah with the 1-game conference lead. Carter Thomas open, good. And Thomas with 7.
Good skip pass, another open shot. Coach Rubb is gambling a little bit, keeping Emery Jr. on the court with those 2 fouls.
He needs them. There's Pavletsky, can't get it to fall. That's usually a ball that will fall for him. Look at the big guy again, Piter handling it down the floor. Ooh, he has Young underneath. Instead gives it out to Thomas, who's going to slash his way into the paint. And that's what Thomas does, and he's fouled. Thomas, such a good slasher. So Myron now picks up his second, Mike. So foul building up for Myron with 2 and Emery Jr. with 2. Now you see Emery Jr. going to, I think, check out of the game here for a little bit as Thomas knocks down the first free throw.
Brett Thomas scored 22 points in the first meeting against the Papermakers.
I hate to say he's kind of an underrated player. I've always been a big fan of his game. Smooth, he can attack, he can score at every level. We've seen how he can just attack the rim and a good ball handler, good defender.
He's gone over 20 points 7 times this year, including the last 2 games, and now he's already got 9 tonight, so well on his way again.
Oh, look at this, almost knocked away from Pavletsky, but he controls it, hands off. And now Grawl has it at the top. Ooh, almost a steal. Pavletsky going to kick out to Grawl, 3-pointer, rims out. Piter with another rebound. He is a rebounding machine for the Rockets.
I was reading a scouting report on Piter. It said he was bouncy. Said he was bouncy, and he sure is.
Yeah, you look at Piter, what is he, 6'7", I believe?
Gets off the ground quick.
6'7", and has those long arms, and one of the top rebounders in this league. Thomas going to try to back his way in. Strong player, spins, high off the glass, and can't get it to fall. And a save. Rockets have it. 3 from the corner. That's Schloman, no good, and Polakowski with it. Jackson Schloman, number 11, a junior guard for the Rockets. Polakowski, so athletic off the glass. He is in attack mode too. Love watching him play. His first bucket of the night
reigning FVA Player of the Year, and he's playing like it tonight. Played like it all season, pretty much.
Good, one of those great receivers for Steve Jones in the Kimberly Papermakers football team. So athletic. I've seen him dunk a few times this season. Thanks for everybody checking us out tonight on postcrescent.com. Also streaming to our Oshkosh and Fond du Lac sites and Facebook pages, our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel. Game of regional interest. Piter's fouled. He'll go to the line. Third team foul now for the Papermakers. Looks like that will go against Sam Gingras, number 0, a senior. Piter has 2 points, his first trip to the line tonight. Good start to this one, Mike. You're happy you're here, aren't you?
Absolutely.
And gets that one to fall.
Anytime you can see 2 FVA powers in person in a game that has as much meaning as tonight's game does.
We'll just
beat it.
We'll just tell Ricardo to stay away.
Absolutely. We don't even know where he is, so he might not be coming back. We don't know.
He's just gone. Very mysterious is Ricardo. Piter strong on that one. Oh, big rebound, though, for the Rockets, and they'll reset. Piter, left hand, scoop shot, good, and he's got a chance for the 3-point play. Good take for Piter. And now an 8-point lead for Neenah. Gingras picks up his second for the Papermakers.
Piter had the size advantage there on Gingras, and as soon as he got the ball in his hands, he knew he was going to go to the hoop.
6'7" versus 6'3", and again, those left long arms and a good finish with that left hand. And that one does not fall. So Piter with 5 points, but an 8-point edge for the Rockets as we look at our Coonies Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Neenah 13-1 in league play. The Papermakers 12-2. Grawl, oh, look at Lee Rubbis was playing some defense out there. And the Rockets with the rebound. Boy, what a job Lee Rubbis has done with this Neenah program.
Well, you can always count on him being animated on the sideline, that's for sure.
I remember when I first got to the area back in the mid-90s, he was at Xavier. Just a young coach, very fiery, very energetic. And he's had some stops at Lawrence as an assistant for the men's program. I think it was under John Tharp over there.
And then he was at UW Fox Valley.
And built a really good team. That's offensive foul on Carter Thomas. His first, team's third. He has some really good teams at UW Fox Valley. They were a powerhouse for the 2-year JUCO level.
Thomas there looking for the foul. He definitely made some contact there, but he stayed and he got fouled on the arm before the contact.
Pavletsky, kick out, Grawl again. He's a shooter, got it. And a good find by Pavletsky to find Grawl. He's got 2 triples and 6 points on the night. And a big bucket for Kimberly. Yeah, you look at what Lee Rubbis has done, and look at what, particularly these last 3 seasons now, this one included. 65-6 overall are the Rockets. That's a .915 winning percentage, and their conference record, Mike, 46-4. It's a .920 winning percentage. That's crazy in this league.
And as he talked about, doing it this year without Cal Klesmet, now doing it without Eli Schmidt.
Well, I know they're very, very, very happy to have Lee in Neenah. Folks I know down there are just tickled that he's the head coach. And long, storied history for those Rockets as Carter Thomas hits the first.
Well, both these teams, Brett, it's all about program. It's all about culture. You know, it's about building a winning atmosphere. It's a lot easier to continue winning than it is to build something from the ground up.
Yeah.
So they've got these programs now where it's they're just machine-like.
Pavletsky fouled. He'll go to the line. But when you look at the history of this league, it's these 2 teams when it comes to boys basketball. They're definitely at the top as far as FBA championships. Looks like Schloman picks up the foul. So looking at the team situation, 5 team fouls for Kimberly, 4 for Neenah. No timeouts yet. And that isn't a shooting foul. Okay.
I think the contact came a little bit outside the block there, so ref said, nope, you're not shooting.
Pavletsky. Wow, scoop shot. Oh, thought that was going to fall. Piter again with another rebound.
A little too much spin on that there with his left hand. Kicked off the backboard a little too hard.
Amazing how he can get to the rack like that, though, and it seems like there's nothing open.
You know, he came down for our photo shoot before the season, and I was in the same elevator as him coming up to our building, and I was thinking, you know, he's not that big, but boy, he sure plays big.
He does, and Piter playing big. A good look to a cutting Young. Young has 4 points now. Well, congratulations to Wofford. We were talking about this Tuesday night when we were here for the Spash game, but they got a pipeline here because Max Klesmit, the former Neenah star, is really playing some good basketball at Wofford, so a couple of FVA guys going to be playing for the Terriers. And not sure how you get those kids out of state, or how you let them out of state, as Paul Akowski's called for the travel.
Well, every kid makes his own decision on what's best for him and their own reasons on why they go somewhere. Some it's for the academics, some it's for the basketball atmosphere, some it's because they just want to escape the Wisconsin winter.
Yeah.
You know, there's all kinds of reasons, but good for Wofford to find two absolute gems from our area.
Yeah, I watched Wofford the other night and watched Max, I should say, and I think Max had 15 that night. I can't remember who they played, but it's kind of fun to watch that. It's Thomas from the top. Look at Carter Thomas, his second triple. He's got 13. And an 11-point lead, Mike, for the Rockets.
Thomas's season high is 25 against Notre Dame.
Deep three.
He's halfway there.
Yeah, Grawl, again, another rebound. Rockets on the run. Three ball, good. That's number 11, Jackson Schloman, and full timeout coming.
Well, you just said there hadn't been any timeouts yet, but that's one John Murphy needed to take.
Wow.
Neenah's just shooting the ball so well so far.
Lights out as Kimberly burns a full timeout, at 14-point lead after that three ball by Schloman. Hey, folks, I just want to let everybody know out there, we've got a great deal right now on a digital subscription to the Post-Crest and all of our USA Today Network Wisconsin sites for the next 3 months. You can get all the benefits included with a digital subscription for just $1. So 3 months, $1 stinking dollar, people. That includes full access on your desktop, tablet, and mobile devices every day. The e-edition, that's a digital replica of the print edition, that's also included. Learn more details and sign up for a digital subscription right now at postcrescent.com/subscribe. Any of our sites, just go to the site /subscribe. Mike, 3 months for $1. You cannot go wrong with that.
You cannot beat it. You also cannot go wrong with the way Neenah is passing the ball tonight. They are finding the open man, making the extra pass. Every shot they've had has been a good look.
Fun basketball to watch when they play that team concept and guys cutting, screening, passing. 4 3-pointers for the Rockets so far tonight. The big one right before that timeout by Schloman, and now looks like the Rockets in a zone.
But if you're Kimberly, you've been in this position before. We've talked about the tough non-conference games they've played. They've been down.
Pavletsky. But nice job by Rubus now coming out of that timeout, mixing up the defense a little bit and kind of forcing the hand a little bit of Kimberly to make them adjust. I'm surprised Pavletsky missed that, though. He usually makes those, 25-footers?
Yeah, he was extended out a little deeper than maybe you would have wanted to be, but he can hit it from anywhere on the court.
So can Corso, no good. Corso, a nice-looking sophomore for Lee Rubus, so a player to watch in the years to come. Pavletsky hands off to Grawl, who's going to take it. Nice bounce pass. Great feed, speaking of good passing, to Van Vonderen for his first bucket of the night. Got the defense to commit. He was wide open underneath, and easy bucket for Van Vonderen, the 6'4" senior. Looks like Emery Jr. now going to check into the game with those 2 fouls.
Yeah, he sat out for about 6 or 7 minutes there, Brett.
Piter, the big man from 3, and can't get it to fall. And Pavletsky now with it. Suppose, Mike, plenty of time left in this half, still 5+ minutes to go, but if you're Kimberly, you want to certainly keep it within 10, right? So you don't want to get too much farther down. Here's Myron.
Might have got away with a few steps there.
Neenah crowd on its feet as Pavletsky, beautiful jumper, no good, follows it in air and makes the shot. piece of cake, Mike.
Got to pad those offensive rebounding stats.
I'm guessing that wasn't the case there, but I like how he just jumped up, grabbed the rebound, and still staying in air, banks it off the glass. I've got him for 12 as a two-handed dunk for Piter. And Piter with 7.
He's bouncy, and like we said, and he showed it there. Didn't need much of a run up there. One step, and he was up and throwing it down. But you're right, Brett. These last 4.5 minutes or so, any coach will tell you the last couple minutes of the first half and the first few minutes of the second half are so important. So it's important for Kimberly here to, if not cut into the deficit, at least not fall any further behind.
Good bounce pass from Myron to Pavletsky. Pavletsky fouled, so he'll go to the line to shoot a pair. Schloman picks up his second. Pavletsky his 0 for 2 so far tonight from the line. And again, he needs 27 points to become Kimberly basketball's all-time leading scorer. That's boys and girls. So we'll see if Jackson can get that tonight, and he's good on the first. I have a feeling he's going to do it.
Well, he's got 13 now, so he's 14 away, correct?
Correct. That adds up.
My UW Whitewater math there.
Your UW Whitewater math might be a little bit better than my UW Stevens Point math. By the way, what has happened to my beloved Pointers? They're 0-10 in the WIAC, Mike.
Wow.
Yeah, 3-14 overall, 0-10 in the league play. By the way, Jake Buchanan now, former Kimberly standout, playing for the Pointers.
Oh, that's right.
So Jake, if you're watching tonight, hope you're doing well at my beloved alma mater. Good high-low, nice speed and good hands by Piter. Tough to stop that.
Piter doing good work on both ends tonight.
He's a good player, isn't he? And good save off of, I think, Polakowski. That was Young.
Matt Young, real nice job there.
I've got 9 points for Piter, a whole bunch of rebounds, two-handed slam. Probably has an assist or two as the Rockets up 12.
Piter scored in double figures 10 times this season. He's 1 point away from making it 11 times.
A double-double machine, and they're going to get, I think, Gingras. That'll be his third. And the sixth team foul. So,
and you assume with Eli Schmidt out, like we've talked about, I'm sure Coach Rubbis said to Piter, we need you to look a little more offensively tonight. We know you're going to rebound, we know you're going to defend, but maybe we need a few more points out of you tonight than usual.
And he's doing it, isn't he? Really looking good out there. By the way, folks, don't leave us for halftime. We're going to have Kimberly Athletic Director Ryan McGinnis on. Mike's going to chat with him a little bit. The big news, of course, Chad Michaelwitz, the new head football coach. That was announced yesterday. Piter can't get that to fall. Sticking with it. Another rebound. How many rebounds is he going to get? And he's going to go to the line. He's kind of laughing, smiling. Does he get like 4 or 5 rebounds on that possession?
He does. That's an offensive rebound every time he taps the ball up.
Polakowski, his second, 7th-team foul, but Piter will be shooting 2. But Ryan McGinnis has had a busy stretch here, and I know folks are going to be wanting to listen to his take on the new football coach taking over for Steve Jones. Of course, Michael Witz was 11 years the head man at De Pere, so just going to come down Highway 41 and take over the Kimberly football program. Officials talking some things over. I'm not sure what that conversation's all about.
Yeah, if you're Kimberly, I think you need to start getting a little more physical with Piter inside. He's right now he's just jumping over him with his athleticism. They're going to have to get a body on him and just kind of ride him out of there, or he's going to dominate inside the rest of this game.
Looks like they switched fouls, so that's going to go against number 22, Michael Asman, instead of Owen Polakowski. Piter misses the second. But she'll be fun, yeah, so stick with us. I'm sure Ryan's going to have some very interesting things to say and kind of what went into that search. When that job opened up, Mike, of course, everybody knew that's one of the premier high school coaching positions in the state of Wisconsin right here at Kimberly. Pavletsky, good from the corner, and a big triple for Jackson.
Up to 17 points now for Pavletsky.
10 away from the all-time Kimberly scoring record. Yeah, he's going to blow past that tonight.
And reminder, that's all players. That's boys and girls.
Yeah, Maddie Schreiber, last year's graduate, 1,483 career points. Maddie doing great work as a true freshman for UW Green Bay, so good for her if she's watching tonight. Hope you're doing well, Maddie.
Not easy to crack Kevin Borth's force us rotations up there as a freshman.
No,
so.
he obviously trusts her. And look at Grady Corso with the bucket and a chance for the three-point play. His first basket of the night, and something that strikes me right now with what Neenah is doing, they're hitting threes, but they're also really attacking the rim hard tonight.
Absolutely. Kimberly seems to be, I don't want to say settling, but most of Kimberly's shots have been from the outside and from beyond the three-point arc. Neenah's really mixing it up well, really attacking the lane.
Yeah, and I have 6 players already scoring for the Rockets. So you're talking about, we talked about that at the open, this balanced offensive team showing it off again, and now in that 2-3 zone making Kimberly work. Good ball movement by the paper makers. Pawelewski out to Myron. Now Polakowski. So let's see what kind of a shot they can get here out of the zone. See if they want to work that high post short corner game. Nope. Pawelewski's just going to attack, and he's fouled. Nobody likes the officials' calls, Mike.
Called that on Pater. He just had his hands up in the air, and he thought he was good, but the ref said, nope, you reached down a little bit, lowered those arms a little bit.
He's kind of looking around. It looks like Lee Rubbis wants to call timeout. He's not happy. He's just said unbelievable, but I don't think the official is going to change his mind as the Rockets take a 30-second timeout. Hey, we're back at it again tomorrow night. Another big Fox Valley Association game, this time on the girls' side, as top-ranked Hortonville hosts second-ranked Appleton East. Our live coverage from Hortonville High School will tip off at approximately 7:15 p.m. You can access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. Another game, another state-ranked team, this time two teams, 1 versus 2 in the state. I think the guys are getting mad at me for scheduling so many live streams a week. But how do you not do these games? You have to.
You have to with so much talent that we have around here.
And for selfishly, it makes winter go by for me. It's the only thing that allows me to get through winter is basketball. Myron coming off the screen, good look. Can't get it to fall, and a big offensive rebound. Polakowski, he can shoot it. He's going to attack. And nice finish in traffic for Polakowski. He's got 4.
He could have settled there for the 3, but I really like how he took it to the basket.
11-point game, and what do the Rockets want to do with a minute 38, 37 counting? Do they want to kind of hold on here a little bit, or nope? Emery Jr. is going to take it and hit it. Wow.
That's one of those where the coach is yelling, run some clock, and then wide open shot, nails it.
Tough jumper. He's got 11 points, Emery Jr. So fun to watch. So fun to watch these players on both sides play. So much talent.
Emery Jr. has scored in double figures every game this season except for 2, Brett, and he had 20 in the first meeting against Kimberly. So
on his way to that.
On his way to that tonight, yes.
A minute remaining, and Pawelewski, he's going to hit it. It would look good all the way off of his hand. It was right in front of us. And Pawelewski now with 20 points and a big triple there makes it a 10-point game again. 7 points away from the all-time record. That was a deep 3 right in front of that Neenah bench.
Now I think Neenah will take it out and try to run out the clock here. Be the only one to take a shot the rest of the half.
Easier said than done, though, right? When you're trying to play a little keep away, still 25 seconds to go. Piter and Emery Jr. playing a little catch right now. A little bounce pass this time. And Rainbows one back to Piter with 14 seconds to go. Who's going to be taking it here? Down to 10, and here we go. Emery Jr., he's going to take it from the wing. Good. Wow. That looked great off his hand. Great ball rotation off the fingertips. Last second shot coming. And off the back iron for Pawelewski. What a half for the Rockets. 47-34.
You know, Brett, we've been watching Chevalier Emery Jr. play for the last few years, and always been a terrific player, but his shot has improved so much, his outside shot, and tonight he is on fire.
Fun half of basketball here at Kimberly High School. Supposed to have Ryan McGinnis on here shortly. Again, folks, tomorrow night we're going to be streaming. Actually, here he comes right now. I'm going to hand the headset to you Ryan McGinnis, the athletic director, going to join us here at halftime. I'm going to hand the headset to Ryan. Mike, you're going to interview him, and this is the Kimberly athletic director, so here we go.
How you doing, Ryan?
Good.
Thanks.
How are you, Mike?
Good. Thanks for coming up and joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet.
We know you are busy, especially when you're hosting an event in your own field house here. There's a lot for you to do, so we appreciate you taking a few minutes to come up.
You bet.
Obviously, a big week here at Kimberly High School. Big announcement yesterday with Chad Michaelwitz being named the new head coach, replacing Steve Jones. What is it about Chad that kind of set him apart and made him ultimately the guy who was the one you wanted to be the next head coach?
His character stands out. His demeanor is really, I think, fitting here. He's a standards-based guy, believes in the process, a football junkie. Became a head coach at 24, played at Winona State and coached there for a few years, and also, was a year at Northwestern, and kind of and when you're in those big-time programs like that, you're not doing the glamour stuff, doing a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff. So he's a football junkie, passionate heart for kids and seeing kids grow and building relationships, and that's a great fit.
Obviously, this is a marquee coaching position. We've talked about it. This is an elite program in the state and a marquee job. Did you have obviously you had a lot of interest in the job, but did you have as many applicants that you'd expect, or even more than you expected? I guess kind of tell me how many. You don't have to give me an exact number, but just kind of how much interest was there in that position? Yeah,
we had some real high quality candidates for sure, no doubt about it. Were there as many as what I thought? Probably about what I thought, quite frankly, I think some people don't want to jump into this fire. And so that's the other thing that stands out with Chad that came through. And we have a pretty arduous process with our coaching and teaching positions, for that matter. But he's not afraid of that. He embraces it, but he also has a great deal of respect and knowledge of our staff. And I think he's going to assess the situation, and much of you never know until everything shakes out, but I think much of our staff is going to stay on and be a part of the staff, as they have been, and they've been a huge part of it. Steve Jones would be the first to tell you that he led that staff for sure and did a phenomenal job, but his assistants are also phenomenal. So I think Chad had a really good balance of understanding that Kimberly is special, and a place that he wants to be, and not fearing the expectations, and so that speaks to he believes in the process. You can't measure coming in and are you better than Steve Jones, or are you going to achieve more wins or losses or trophies or whatever else. That's a dead end street, and so I think he strikes a great balance for that, and he's got a extreme passion for teaching and coaching.
Do you expect Chad most of the assistants that were under Coach Jones to stay with the program, as far as you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. As we've talked to the coaches, again, you never know until you put that person in place, and then he meets with each of those coaches individually. And just like we felt in the head coaching interview process, it's got to be a fit for us, and it's got to be a fit for that the candidate that we choose. And as he talks to those coaches individually, and those coaches get to talk to him individually, they'll make a decision. But yeah, I believe that a large majority of our staff will stay in place.
Just what has Coach Jones meant to not only the football program, but the athletic program and just the school community in general in the time he's been here?
He's meant a ton. I mean, he's a quality human being, and has a great heart for people as well. So he has done so much for, behind the scenes stuff too. And just, he's an intelligent person. He understands relationships. He understands people. So yeah, he's not going anywhere. I mean, he's not going to be here, so it's going to be different, no doubt. But he's still going to be in the Kimberly community, and his wife does a phenomenal job here too, and she's extremely valuable. And there'll be some that joke that, hey, we didn't lose her, so that's a win, But they're both great, just salt of the earth people.
Shifting to basketball real quick, what have you seen from Coach Murphy in his first year here after replacing Lucky? Has he been everything you thought he'd be and expected him to be?
Yeah, he sure has. He's he's got a real good demeanor. He's a worker, and he's a gym rat, and he too just values relationships and building a team. And so we've had a really, really good non-conference schedule. And the FVA is a different level that he's used to playing big games, obviously. But the day in, day out, he has embraced that, and he's done a great job of not coming in here and trying to throw around his past. He understands it's about these kids' present. So yeah, he's been everything expected and then some, and he respects what Lucky and Coach Simon and Coach Gieman and Coach Milkey and that entire staff has done for the past 13 years. He's been great.
One more question about basketball on the girls' side. I know you have a daughter playing for the Kimberly girls. You went to the game Tuesday night. Your daughter hit a lot of threes and had a big game. Allie Zabel from Neenah also had a huge game, 41 points. She went over 1,000 points for her career, and she's only 2/3 of the way through her sophomore year. You got Lily Hansford and Emily LaChapelle at Appleton East. You got Rainey Wilson at Hortonville and the Pepler girls. You've got Allie Zabel. You got all the Kimberly talent. Have you ever seen, and your wife, of course, was a phenomenal basketball player at Oshkosh North years ago when I first started in this business.
Nice, yeah.
And then she went to Marquette, obviously, and did really well. Have you ever seen the girls' basketball talent in the FVA as good and as deep as it is right now and in the last few years?
No. I think in the mid-'80s, my sisters were playing at that time, and I think it was pretty darn good, but it was deep, but the level is higher, and the depth is probably the same, but I think the high is much. Allie Zabel is as good as you're going to see in high school basketball. She's unbelievable, and I think what separates her is she makes her teammates better. She's not just out there gunning. She could probably score 70 with her ability and skill set, but she makes her teammates better and gets them open, and she plays with a calm that the great ones do. But yeah, no, it's pretty neat, man. And Emily LaChapelle, she has that same calm and makes her teammates better and encourages and is a great teammate. And so yeah, we're pretty blessed here in this area to have that. And like you said, my wife was a pretty special player. So I love women's hoops for sure.
Absolutely. All righty, Ryan. Well, we appreciate you taking your time. We'll let you get back to work with your job tonight. We'll get back to the second half. We got about 2 minutes left before the second half will get underway. Thanks again.
Yeah, appreciate what you guys do. Appreciate you being here.
And we appreciate you. Thanks for coming up.
Yep, thanks a lot.
Thanks again. That was Ryan McGinnis, the athletic director here at Kimberly, with some good insight on the new football coach here at Kimberly, Chad Michaelwitz. Also some good thoughts on John Murphy in his first season here as the boys basketball coach. And you can tell he's got a real fondness and affection for girls basketball in this area. We talked about Allie Zabel and at Neenah and some of the other great talent in the FVA. And it's not just the FVA. You talk about Freedom girls are having a great season. St. Mary Catholic, De Pere, Notre Dame, of course, yes. Just so blessed with great basketball talent, boys and girls in this area. And can't wait to see what happens the next month or so as we make our way to the Rush Center in Ashwaubenon for the girls' state tournament, and then the Cole Center for the boys' tournament. But again, thanks a lot to Ryan for joining us and giving us thoughts.
And he always helps us out with these streams. Big proponent of these years ago, and we just always appreciate him hanging out with us. That was Mike Sherry interviewing Ryan McGinnis. I'm Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin. Halftime just about over. Big first half for the Rockets, and we'll talk about Allie Zabel, the Neenah sharpshooter, coming up. But yeah, these regionals and sectionals are going to be bananas, especially the sectional round is really going to be something special, I think, on the girls and boys side. I think I'm going to have a hard time picking a game. I think we're going to have multiple options, and it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, we'll see if we can get another camera, get another crew, and
there we go.
We'll do multiple games every night.
We could do it. Why not? If Rosie and Ricardo could do that, we'll do us three. We're doing pretty good here tonight.
Yep, with our mystery CC helping on the camera here.
Don't want to give too much away, but hey, let me run on the first half scoring as we're just about ready to get underway here for the second half for the Rockets. Emery Jr. with 14, including that last three right near the buzzer. Schloman with 3, Corso with 3, Piter with 10, Young with 4, Thomas with 13. For the Papermakers, Polakowski with 4, Grawl with 6, Myron with 2, Paveletsky with 20, and Van Vonderen with 2. So, Mike, I'm going to put your coach's hat on. If you're John Murphy, you're down 13 points. So what are you saying at halftime? I guess you got to try to tighten up the defense. On the other hand, Rockets shot lights out. I don't know if there's much you can do because they've been clicking on all cylinders.
No, I'm sure the message was no more open looks.
Yeah.
I mean, Neenah's got talented offensive players, and they're going to score, but you got to make them work for it. And I think there's just too many good open looks for Neenah in the first half if you're Kimberly's defense.
Second half about to get underway. Looks like Kimberly will start with the basketball. Officials kind of letting some fans through. And here we go. Jackson Pavletsky, Papermakers, a 13-point deficit. Remember, this kind of, I think, Mike, you'll agree, will determine the conference championship, right? If the Rockets win this one, they're in complete command. They're 13-1 in league play. Kimberly 12-2. Appleton East is still out there on the boys' side. They're having a great season as well. Pavletsky posting up. Emery Jr. just spins right around. He wanted it all the way and finishes, and a good start for the Rockets. Nice little play right out of the halftime.
And that's a good play because you know what? Emery Jr.'s got 2 fouls already, so take it right at him. See if you can get that third one right away at the start of the half.
Makes you wonder if Rubus will want to maybe switch on that and not have Emery Jr. guarding Pavletsky. That's always a tough assignment anyway, but with 2 fouls, if you're Emery Jr., the last thing you want to do in the first couple minutes of the second half is pick up number 3. Oh, nice. Ooh, almost the block, but a good little hesitation by Matt Young. Just enough to draw the foul, and he'll go to the line. So that's Polakowski's second, first foul of the half. And Young, he's the starter now in place of the injured Eli Schmidt, doing a good job. Again, one of those tough defenders, rebounders, and you see there, taking it hard, drawing the foul. He's got 5 points.
And Polakowski's so athletic. He had no problem getting up there, but clean block up with on the ball, but a lot of body down low, and that's what they called.
Nice little luxury for Lee Rubus to have a kid like Matt Young who brings that senior leadership. Again, the quarterback, so nice to be able to put him in the starting lineup, and he's done well in place of Eli Schmidt. Obviously, having Eli injured hurts the depth here a little bit, but so far so good. Polakowski, 3 big triple for Polakowski, his first 3-pointer of the night, and he's got 7, and that's a big bucket. Back to a 10-point game.
And like we talked about, Brett, at the end of the first half, Kimberly just needs to keep it close here for the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Piter working on Van Vonderen. Little spin move, and can't get it to fall. Rebound. That was Polakowski. That was a good move. Tough defense by Van Vonderen. Here comes Pavletsky. Pavletsky with 22 points. 5 away now from the Kimberly all-time scoring record, boys and girls, Mark. Oh, good hands by Piter, knocked it away, and here comes Emery Jr., 2-on-2. He's going to take a little Euro step. There's Piter fouled. Johnny on the spot, but hustling down the floor, Mike, is Piter, and he picks up the foul.
Emery Jr. there was trying to draw the foul on the take to the basket. Didn't get the call, missed the layup, but Piter was right there for the offensive rebound.
And a key third foul now, that's against Seth Myron, third leading scorer for the Papermakers coming in. Piter hits the first, so we'll see if John Murphy wants to take Myron out. I don't think so. He's going to keep him in with those 3 fouls.
Brett, is Matt Young down there not wearing socks at all? Or has he just got the real short no-see-him socks? A little different than our day. Back in our day when we wore our socks up to our knees.
He must have calluses the size of quarters on the back of his ankles, and his shoe rubbing against that, although he's not really wearing high tops, is he?
No.
There's Pavletsky. No, all right. Check that. That was Grawl. Now Pavletsky with the rebound. Tough take and finish. 24 points now for Pavletsky.
3 away from the all-time school record.
That's what we have here, yep. He's gonna get that and then some. Emery Jr. Good. Wow. Emery Jr.'s third 3-pointer, and he's got 17. And just when you think Kimberly's kind of hanging around, the Rockets seem to hit one of those big threes. Myron, little jump stop, can't get it to fall. Piter with the rebound, and here Emery Jr. He's got 1 speed, Mike. He thought about it again, didn't he? It was Pavletsky picks him up defensively.
He plays at a speed I'm not familiar with.
Same here, especially at our age, right?
Right.
We got cement in our feet. And I'm speaking for myself, not for you. You might be as quick as a cat still. I don't know. Just a little fadeaway. Wow, gets the bounce. Emery Jr. feeling it. He's got 19-5 this half. And a rebound by Piter off the Pavletsky miss, and here comes Emery Jr.
And he's feeling it too. He knows he can't miss tonight.
Carter Thomas thought about I thought he was going to take it. No, Piter Oh, what's he want to do with it? He's going to make back to Carter Thomas, who's going to attack right through the defense. Can't get it to fall. Wow. He does not normally miss that shot. Brawl out to Polakowski. Strong on that one. Look at who's got the rebound again. He's got to have a double-double already. He's got to have at least 10 rebounds. Right now, Piter's got 12 points on the night. 15-point edge as we look at our Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard.
If you're Neenah, you can afford to be patient because you have a 15-point lead, but everything they're doing is working so well. You know, take it to the basket, get an open jump shot from the outside. Whatever they do seems to be clicking tonight.
It's kind of interesting, though. I think that too, but when a team is just clicking, you got to keep just pedal to the metal, right? For the time being. I know you can run some clock and be patient, but sometimes you see teams do that, and then everything just sort of stalls.
Oh, absolutely. There's still 14 minutes left in this game. You don't want to get comfortable right now.
Piter working on that block. Oh, nice little move. Can't get it to fall. Another rebound for Piter and gets it to go through the hoop. Rebounding edge is big right now in this one for the Rockets as well. Wow. 17-point lead. Was not expecting this.
Piter came into the game third in the FBA in rebounds. He might exit this game number 1 in the league in rebounding.
Pavletsky, little floater in the paint. That's good. And 26 points now for Pavletsky, who is 1 point away from the mark. So he just tied the record that he now shares with Matty Schreiber. Corso with a tough take. No good. Here comes Polakowski. Bounce pass to Pavletsky. A little reverse comes out. How does that not fall? Looks like that was halfway down.
Basketball gods are going to make him wait a little longer to become the all-time leading scorer.
Pavletsky already the boys' all-time leading scorer. Piter again, boy, they're running a lot of offense through him, aren't they, down in the low block, and just backs him in. Can't get, a little tip in, and it's good. Wow. He's got 16 points, and he is working hard on the block.
Yeah, Kimberly just hasn't had an answer for him all night.
Pavletsky double-teamed underneath the hoop, gets it out. Nice bounce pass from Grawl to Gingras. First bucket for Gingras. And a 15-point lead for the Rockets as Emery Jr., a rare slow walk down the floor. I didn't know he had that speed, that gear.
Even the phenomenal athletes need a rest every once in a while.
Neenah continued to look at it, just working, spreading the floor. Everybody's moving. Well, deep three for Emery Jr. Nope. And Piter with an offensive rebound. What? It's unbelievable. The rebounding clinic he's putting on, and the basket. And a foul on top of that. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think they just called a timeout.
Okay, I'm sorry. Timeout for the Papermakers?
No, Neenah took it.
Oh, the Rockets took a timeout. Okay. I thought there was a foul there. So Piter having a monster game for the Rockets. 18 points. He's got to have 14, 15 rebounds right now.
We'll get the official total after the game from the Neenah staff, but definitely has a double-double. So Neenah's done exactly what it needed to do, Brett. Come out here in the second half and just keep pushing, keep pressuring, keep running the same offense, doing the same things they did in the first half.
Yeah, they look fantastic coming out. Up 17 points. Just kind of looking at the game notes. I know I had Neenah's they currently a 17-game winning streak. Its longest in season since it opened the 2013-14 slate with 15 straight victories. Again, talking in-season winning streaks. Oh, wow! How about that? Baseline flush by Polakowski, showing off his athleticism.
Maybe that'll spark the Papermakers here. Maybe that's what they needed to get going here.
Little energy boost, but boy, did he explode to the rim off the baseline. Wow. I know I could never do that.
Not even on the Nerf hoop in the office.
There I could. Nice curl and in for Corso. Good find. Corso now with 5 points for Neenah.
As well as Neenah has shot it from the outside, you're impressive how they have not settled.
And Pavletsky, no, he's fouled, and now a chance to break the record right here at the line. Schloman picks up the foul. Yeah, Pavletsky with 26 points. Again, needs 27 now. Needs 27, so he needs one free throw to set the all-time scoring record, boys or girls, and there it is. So congratulations to Jackson Pavletsky.
I was wondering if they would stop the game. Do you think they'd have stopped the game if Kimberly was leading by 15
That's
points?
A possibility.
They might have.
Just to recognize it?
Just to recognize it quick, just to announce it. Heck of an accomplishment.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations to Jackson.
All the great players that have come through this program, and both boys and girls. Troy Cullen, the longtime coach on the girls' side. He's got a powerhouse there year in and year out. Now we're seeing a zone out of the Papermakers. Emery Jr. so quick on that baseline, kicks it out. 3 from the corner, short. That was a good look by Schloman. And Pavletsky. Oh, look at this. A 3. Good. Good. Wow. Just enough space with that dribble between the legs, Mike. The defender kind of backed up because he's so fast on the bounce, and that's all he needed. Pavletsky now with 31.
31 of the 52 for the Papermakers tonight.
31 points, and we've got half of a half to play. Turnover. Pavletsky forces it and can't get it to fall. Myron there on the putback.
And Lee Rubbis did not waste any time. He's going to take a timeout there.
Struggling a little bit against that zone look, so good switch up by John Murphy now. Full timeout for the Rockets.
6 quick points there for Kimberly.
2 timeouts remaining for Neenah. 4 still. Oh, they're announcing Pavletsky now the all-time leading scorer. But that winning streak for the Rockets, so this is the longest in-season streak since winning 15th straight to open the 2013-14 season. Again, Neenah was 17 in a row. Rockets did have that 23-game winning streak that spanned the end of 2019-2020 and the beginning of 2020 and 21. Pewaukee finally snapped that streak during a non-conference meeting last year at Pewaukee, and of course the Pirates then went on to win the Division II state championship. Only loss for Neenah this season, 68-64 setback to Appleton East on December 3rd. That was a game we streamed.
Nice standing ovation there for Pavletsky for breaking the record. Well-timed, well-timed announcement too. Get the crowd into it a little bit more. Kimberly's just made a little bit of a run, got it back to a 10-point game.
Yeah, the lead was as much as, I think, 17 in this half of the Rockets, so quickly down to 10. And then we talk about the gauntlet of a schedule that Kimberly has played this season. They faced De Pere, Pewaukee, Whitnall, and Menominee Falls. De Pere ranked number 2 in Division I. Good find by Pater to Schloman. And a nice little set play out of the timeout. So if I should say Pater. Wow. And Pavletsky with the finish. Jeez. I can't keep up, Mike.
Good take there. Went to the left hand. Drew the foul from Schloman.
So that's the 4th foul now on Schloman. So foul trouble creeping up for a Neenah bench that is not as deep as normal. Schloman has to come out of the game.
Elliot Swanson going to check into the game for, I think, the first time tonight.
And a chance for Pavletsky with this free throw to make it a 9-point game, and he does. Big second half already. And 34 points now.
Kimberly extending that zone out to midcourt there with Pavletsky.
Got the updated scoreboard. Sorry, folks, I missed that previous Neenah bucket. Zone defense again out there, and let's see if, oh, knocked away. Look at that. Oh, back to the Rockets. That was going to be a run out. Easy bucket for Kimberly, and instead, was that Pater who blocked it? That outlet pass? It might have been.
I think it was, yes.
So I was going to say, not only doing it, rebounding and scoring, and then we saw the assist, and now swatting away, kind of a I guess we'll give them a steal on that.
Yeah, and that was, like you said, that was a easy basket for Kimberly going the other way. Would have made it a 7-point game.
Boy, tough defense, trap in the corner. And a good switch up here.
Yeah, Neenah struggled since Kimberly's gone to the zone.
Watch out. Ooh, tough bounce pass, and I think we're going to get a jump ball that will stay with the Rockets. Matt Young into the game for Brady Corso. Now the chess match really starting to come into play. Now just a 3-possession game, so credit the Papermakers for bouncing back down 17. 3-possession game, and that's nothing for a team that's one of the state's top 3-point shooting teams as well. I think, a good feed. Oh, Swanson almost, and that was a good idea, just couldn't complete the pass. Look at this finish, and that's number 3, Jack Stotts. And we're down to a 7-point game.
Coach Murphy going to that zone, Brett, has changed the entire complexion of this game.
Ooh, and Stotts will get called for the foul. That'll be his 4th team foul. But to finish that thought, so De Pere ranked number 2 in the state in D1. Whitnall and Pewaukee ranked numbers 2 and 3 in Division 2 respectively. Pewaukee, of course, the Division 2 defending state champs. Menominee Falls ranked 3rd in Division 1, and the Phoenix, led by North Carolina recruit Seth Trimble. That's a heck of a non-conference slate.
Especially with a young team like they had at the start of the year. If they played those teams now, it might be a different outcome.
Then you add Neenah to that. You add Appleton East to the mix as well with the FVA slate. Emory Jr. from the corner, no good. Rebound, Young fighting, and we got a foul. Kimberly crowd does not like that. You can hear the boos.
Neenah's just done an excellent job on the offensive glass all game, Brett. It was Piter early in the game and most of the game for Piter, and that was Young there.
So Stotts picks up his 4th. Inbound, nope. Piter sticking with it. Oh, my goodness. The rebounds for Piter, I'd love to know what he has. And look at this. Pawelecki with the basket.
And the foul goes on Emory Jr., so that's his 3rd.
7:22 to go. 7-point. Emory Jr. talking to the officials, the Kimberly crowd in front of us. They don't want to see that conversation. Nothing wrong with you see the players on both sides. Hey, what did I do? Can you explain what you saw?
As long as you're respectful,
yeah.
The refs will let you ask the question.
Pawelecki, 36 points, make it 3rd. No, he missed it. 5 of 8 from the line is Jackson Pawelecki. He has 16 this half, 36 on the night. Carter Thomas trying to split the defense, almost swatted away. Watch out. Neenah fans wanting, boy, both fans are getting a little owly now as Corso with the miss, and Myron has it. Here come the Papermakers. Pawelecki bringing it down the floor quick. Little crossover. Emory Jr. almost knocked it away. Gingras from the corner, no good. Rebound, Myron, and in off the glass. Offensive rebound. Look at this. 5-point game. And maybe we are going to get that great finish, Mike, that we wanted.
Sure looks that way.
Well, we've seen those zone defenses, those 1-3-1s that Seymour liked to run when John Murphy was there. Foul on the Papermakers. That's number 6. And who is that against?
I think they were on Gingras.
Gingras, his 4th.
Well, the decision to go to the zone is what it's done is taken away the cuts to the lane.
He also ran that 33 years at Seymour, right? Was it 12 state tournament appearances? Was it 2 or 3 state championships, I want to say, for John?
I think it was 3, yes.
At Seymour. Took a year off, now doing his thing, and almost knocked away, doing his thing here at Kimberly. We always saw those zone defensives. Swanson
might have got away with a travel
there.
there.
Looked like he kind of shuffled his feet, but nice bounce pass. Young, good feed to the slam dunk by Piter. Backside, nothing there. Defense collapse, Mike. and Piter's there to finish it up. And look at this, Myron.
Nice step back there. Baseline dribble, step back jumper. Can't defend it.
Nope, and a good answer. Carter Thomas, almost, Nate is knocked away. Pavletsky looking, what's he gonna do? A little pop from the paint, and it falls in, gets the friendly roll.
What's he gonna do? He's gonna shoot and he's gonna score.
Yeah, and now he has 38 points, and this zone defense has just, like you said, Mike, changed the entire complexion of this game. It's forced a lot of turnovers, offense created from defense and steals. Emery Jr. going to attack it, needs some help. Out to Thomas, he can knock it down from 3. Oh, off the glass, no good. And oh boy, a chance to tie the game. Pavletsky has it, working on Emery Jr., working that baseline, trapped, out. Gingras thought about it, to the hole and in, and it's a 1-point game. And another timeout, full timeout for the Rockets. What a comeback by the Papermakers. They were down 17 this half.
Led by Jackson Pavletsky, Brett, but by no means has he been the only one.
Wow. Jackson Pavletsky, Mike, of course, one of the Fab Five that Ricardo and Jim Rosendick put together. I know you know a little bit more about that. What's the story with that?
Fab Five basketball players, the top seniors in the, not just the Appleton area. We dip into Oshkosh Fond du Lac area, head up to the Greenberry area as well. Marcus Tomaszek from Ashwaubenon, part of the Fab Five.
Jackson Pavletsky of Kimberly.
Max Nelson from Appleton North. Chris Morgan from Kaukauna. Of course, the girls came out last week with, we had Abby Alsma from Waupun, Emily LaChapelle from Appleton East,
Leah Lemke, Wrightstown,
Jordan Muehlmans from De Pere,
and Cami Pepler
from Hortonville, right.
So check that out. Good work by Ricardo and Jim Rosendick to get that together.
Cool interactive videos and cards. You can see those on postcrescent.com.
Well, the energy level has gone up quite a bit. Neenah just with one timeout remaining, and that 1-3-1 zone, Kimberly's going to stick with that. Emery Jr., he'll take it off the feed, short, and whoa, there's going to be a foul. I think that's going to be on Young.
Yep.
That's the fourth foul on the Rockets.
Don't know if the Rockets are getting a little tired, Brett. They're getting a little short on their shots now from the outside. Legs might be getting a little tired. Of course,
yeah.
these teams both played Tuesday night.
Lee Rubba's playing, 7 deep it looks like right now. So, yeah, could be getting worn out here. But Pavletsky, 38 points, and a chance for the Papermakers to take the lead. Again, down 17. I thought the game was just about over at that point, the way the Rockets came out the start of that second half, knocking down shots.
Well, when it was 17, we said it was now or never for Kimberly, and they chose now.
Yeah, they did. And this guy right here with the ball, three-pointer, a little strong, and guess who? J.J. Piter with another rebound. Who's going to hit the big shot for the Rockets? Emery Jr. getting hounded, and he's fouled, and that is the 7th team foul now for Kimberly. So 1-1 coming up for Emery Jr. as Jack Stotts fouls out for the Papermakers. That's the number 5 on Stotts.
It worked out there for Emery Jr. there. He drew the foul, but not easy to dribble through a zone like that.
No, he's fearless.
You got him. He's fearless. You know, it's really funny, Brett, though. Every once in a while I look over. We mentioned earlier in the game that Coach John Melke, one of the best coaches this area has ever seen, is sitting front row. You watch him. He's animated as if he was coaching this game. He's pointing things out. He's yelling things to his friend sitting next to him.
John's a good guy.
That's what this game will do to you, though.
Longtime coach at Appleton East and was an assistant here, now an assistant with Dylan Wirtz at Menasha. He also coached at Anago back in the day. Strong on that second, so 1 of 2. 2-point lead for Kimberly. Again, folks, we're back at it tomorrow night. Another big Varsity Game of the Week basketball live stream. Girls side this time, number 1 Hortonville hosting number 2 Appleton East. Pavletsky with the shot over Emery Jr. Mike, that was great defense.
Emery Jr. didn't want to take the foul.
That was great defense. That's 40 points for Pawelecki.
We said earlier his season high is 50.
He might get that.
He might. He's taken over this game in the second half.
Well, who's going to take over for the Rockets now? I mean, momentum all favoring Kimberly. Who wants the shot? Corso can take it. Piter's been sensational with the basketball tonight. Gets it out of the corner. Young back to Corso. So swinging the ball, trying to find that breakdown defensively.
Well, the zone takes away layups and it takes away the three-point arc. You got to work the ball in kind of in the
right there.
Right.
Right there. Beautiful basketball. Piter to Young, and that's a big bucket for the Rockets. So, Mike, good patience there against the zone.
Good patience. Quiet the Kimberly crowd, if only for a few seconds here.
Oh, fadeaway. Pawelecki with another bucket. I don't know how you stop that.
You can't.
There was good defense. I mean, he's fading away from that. He's in the paint. It was about a 14-footer, but fading away and quickly knocks it down. Good hands. Thomas now with it. Working it. Almost. Whoa, good hands by Piter. Back to Thomas. I thought he was going to let it fly. Corso.
Approaching 2 minutes here, Brett.
Corso, the sophomore, going to take it. Strong. Rebound is fought for, and timeout. No, it's out of bounds. I think Emery Jr. was going to try a timeout maybe, but maybe it was too late. Hard to see in the corner.
Yeah, he might have had his foot on the line. I don't think the ref was going to give him the timeout because he had stepped on the line.
Not sure if you want to take it because that'd be the final timeout for the Rockets too, with still a minute 55 to go and counting. Pawelecki taking over this game. Jumper, go, rims out. I thought that would go down.
He hasn't missed many this half.
Wow, tied up. Here we go. 73-73. Zone defense still for the Papermakers. And wondering when Lee Rubus will use that final timeout if he needs it. If you're the Rockets, Mike, you can be as patient as you want. Easier said than done. Young bounce pass to Piter. Good job to get it out of there because he was trapped. Corso strong and rebound back to the Rockets. Second chance points, and you see Lee Rubus saying, okay, let's take it easy here. Let's try to work something against this zone. Kicked.
Back-to-back three-point attempts by the sophomore Corso there. He's fearless.
He's not short. He's a lot of energy running through him, right?
Yeah, I'm sure the adrenaline's flowing for all these guys.
What a game and what a comeback by Kimberly. This is what we wanted, the two heavyweights here in the FBA. Young, little, no, finger roll. Oh, no. Myron with the rebound. I don't think Young can believe that didn't go down. And now if you're the Papermakers, you can work for one final shot. 14 fouls, Mike, so a couple fouls to give here, too, if you want to use them if you're Neenah. And now Pawelecki is just going to kind of dribble it out, look like one of the Harlem Globetrotters out there.
Yeah, I think if you're Kimberly, you keep the ball in his hands for the last minute.
Oh, good pass. Knocked away, though. It was a bounce pass. Just couldn't be handled, and you can see Pawelecki, he was like, oh, we almost had it.
I just said keep the ball in his hands, and then he thought he could get that pass in there for a layup.
I wonder if Lee Rubus wants, if he wants to use this last timeout here with 20 seconds to go. Nope. I think let's see. I thought he was going to burn one there. 15 seconds. He might let it play out.
I don't think you need to use it.
No, okay, here we go. 10 seconds. Carter Thomas knocked away. Who's got it? Here comes Pawelecki with 5 seconds to go. Behind the back, up, and blocked by Carter Thomas. Whose ball? It's going to stay with Kimberly. I didn't see who blocked it.
I thought it was Thomas. Pawelecki's looking for a foul, but honestly, I think it was clean.
It looked clean up here, too.
Certainly not something you want called with 2 seconds left in the game.
I think John Murphy's calling for a timeout to set something up with 1.6 seconds to play, so a full timeout coming for the Papermakers. Boy, you know, if you're Neenah, you almost worked it to perfection they got it into the paint there with, under 10 seconds to go, and then it was just collapsed, swatted away. So good job by the Papermakers to force that turnover, but good job by the Rockets to get down the floor. Behind the back, I thought Pawelecki was going to have a clear opening, but I didn't see who got in there to knock it away, but here we go.
So if you're Coach Murphy here, you have to assume the ball will be inbounded to Pawelecki?
Well, the kid who has 42 points, I think maybe gets the ball here, right?
Right, but he also might be the ultimate decoy, you know. There is probably enough time for a for one pass after the inbound. So if they inbounds it to Pavletsky and maybe somebody pops free right under the hoop, you might be able to dump it down there for a game-winning layup.
Forget this. I want overtime. Give me 5 more minutes of this, Mike. You don't have to get back to the office this fast, do you?
Well, I kind of do, but I'd rather be here.
You're stuck here, so let's play 5 more minutes. What the heck?
Hey, remember the first meeting ended on a tip-in at the buzzer?
It did, didn't it?
So we could get a little
turnabout could be fair play
tip-in
here.
right here at the end. Pavletsky slaps hands with some of the crowd there.
Ball being inbounded under the Kimberly basket. Pavletsky, where is he? Here it is, Polakowski, no good. That was a good look. He is athletic, he can jump, he's got springs for legs. That was a good little play.
There was a lot of contact there. The
officials usually let that go.
The officials let it go wisely, I think.
And we're going to go to overtime. Why not? 5 more minutes to figure this one out. Number 1, Neenah.
At least 5, maybe more. Who knows?
We might have 8 overtimes, right? What the heck? Fun game, man. This is good stuff. Neenah 13-1 in the conference, 19-1 overall, top-ranked team in the state of Wisconsin in Division I. Kimberly at 12-2. You're looking at the FVA standings. Obviously 1 and 2. Appleton East having a great season. They're third at 10-4. But again, really, this will decide. I think what probably happens is if Kimberly wins, I wouldn't be surprised if these two teams end up sharing the conference title again, like they did last year. Both teams finished 17-1. Last season, but a chance for Neenah to win this thing outright.
Well, Kimberly does have to play Appleton East yet.
Well, that's true. I shouldn't give them the benefit of the doubt there, should I?
And Neenah does have to play at Kaukauna, which is not easy. Kaukauna can put up a lot of points, so I don't think it's any sure thing. Obviously, if you're Neenah, you win tonight, you're up 2 games.
Well, 5 more minutes. Team fouls right now, 7 for Kimberly, 4 for Neenah. Timeouts, 3 for Kimberly, 1 for Neenah. We'll jump it again at center court, play 4 more minutes. I'm sorry, I was thinking it was 5 minutes here at high school. It's 4 minutes, that's right. Been a while since I've seen an overtime game. 17-game winning streak on the line for the Rockets as well. You know it's a big game. I see John Yoke, our friend from Neenah, down there. He's wearing the Neenah red jacket at the scorer's table there. Handles the book. Known John for many years, works in the Neenah Joint School District on the business side as the Rockets win the tip. It's a special game when he's got the red blazer, the Rocket red blazer on.
Brett, I'm kind of glad it's only 4 minutes. I'm not sure I could take 5 minutes of this. This is.
I know. We don't have a dog in the fight, really, do we? But my heart was kind of beating there down the end, getting real nervous.
Great intensity.
Definitely the game of the night here in the state of Wisconsin. The Kimberly going to stay in that zone defense.
And you know these young kids can run all day.
Oh, here's deep 3 by Emery Jr. How about that? I was thinking when he let it go, I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I was thinking that to myself, but what do I know?
Well, he'd gone cold a little bit in that second half.
And Pavletsky blocked by Carter Thomas.
Great help defense by Thomas there.
Emery Jr. with 23 points, 9 this half. Carter Thomas, he can take that. Ooh, and he's fouled. Lee Rubba's jumping up and down. That's the 8th team foul, but it's going to be a 2-shot foul, Mike, for Carter Thomas. So 2 big free throws here for Carter Thomas, the senior. Chance to get this to a 2-possession game.
Which we learned in the second half doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yeah.
Kimberly can score a lot of points in a hurry.
Amazingly, that's actually the first point of this half, and now overtime for Carter Thomas. He had 13 in the first half. And calmly hits them both. So the first 5 points of overtime now scored by the Rockets here, and the Rockets fans in front of us on their feet wanting to see a little defense played. Grawl with a nice shot and clears some space, and a big bucket for Grawl, who has 8. And a big bucket, Mike, for Kimberly.
Good move for the senior there.
Another senior answering the call here.
Yeah, important for Kimberly to get some scoring here in overtime from people other than Jackson Pavletsky.
Pavletsky earlier in the second half became the all-time leading scorer, boys or girls, in Kimberly history. Look at Emery Jr. He's going to let it go again, and it falls. Fearless. 2 huge three-pointers this half, or this overtime period for Emery Jr. in a 6-point lead for the Rockets. Pavletsky working against Emery Jr., and that one falls, and Murphy wants a timeout. A 30-second timeout. Little contact there, Mike, but no call.
Pavletsky leaned in there. I think he was obviously trying to draw the foul. Maybe the refs knew that Pavletsky might have initiated that contact and let it go, but there was definitely some contact there. Could have been the 4th foul on Emery Jr.
44 points for Jackson Pavletsky. Emery Jr. now with 26. Hyder with 22. Carter Thomas with 15. Just looking at the scoreboard there. Got all the scores up there as well.
Trying to think what's the most points I've ever seen scored in person in a high school game. What do you think?
You know what? We just saw earlier this season, this is a good segue, Allie Zabel scored 41 in a game we streamed against Hortonville.
She scored 41 a few times this year.
So congratulations, though. The Neenah standout on the girls' side for Andy Brunell's Rockets just reached 1,000 points in her sophomore year and just took 42 games. So congratulations to Allie Zabel on that accomplishment. I see 2,000 points in her career.
If she stays healthy, which we certainly hope she does,
yes.
Yeah, she's headed towards 2,000 points and well beyond.
Oh, she's fun to watch, and one of the top sophomore prospects in the country for the Neenah girls. And at last time out, as that was a good trap by Polakowski and Pavletsky, as Emery Jr. kind of upset at himself maybe. Final timeout taken, though, for the Rockets. And you had to do it.
If we have a tie-up, the arrow goes towards Kimberly at the next tie-up.
Team fouls 8 for Kimberly, just 4 for Neenah.
Right, so
a couple fouls to give if they need them. And that could be advantageous down the stretch. We'll see.
Right. A couple more fouls, and Neenah will be in the double bonus the rest of the way if Kimberly has to start fouling to stop the clock here.
Again, folks, $1 for 3 months. That's our digital subscription. Please sign up for an unlimited digital access subscription to any of our USA Today Network Wisconsin sites and the Post Crescent. Go to postcrescent.com/subscribe. Any of our sites, really. 3 months for $1. You cannot go wrong. And again, another plug for our next Varsity Game of the Week basketball live stream tomorrow night. We're right back at it. Number 1, Hortonville hosts number 2, Appleton East in a Fox Valley Association girls basketball matchup. Live coverage from Hortonville High School will tip off at approximately 7:15 p.m. And if you haven't watched both of those teams play, folks, if you watch, you got to check out the talent that's going to be on the floor tomorrow night in that girls' game.
And Ricardo will be back for that one tomorrow night if our search party locates him in time.
I think Rosie will be back too.
We'll have the A-team tomorrow night.
I think this is the A-team.
Happy to fill in tonight, though.
I think Cece doing a fantastic job for us. Good catch by Corso. Looked like a wide receiver off of Piter's hands. Myron, he's going to kick it out to Grawl. 3, good, and look at that. A three-pointer off the turnover. Grawl with 5 points in overtime.
2 big shots for him in overtime now.
And just when you thought maybe, Mike, right, that Neenah was kind of sort of in command, they're not. And a foul on Polakowski. He agrees with the call. That's the 9th team foul, so 1-and-1 coming up for Carter Thomas.
After the comeback we watched in the end of the second half there, Brad, I don't think anybody feels comfortable or in command right now.
Yeah, I'll just be quiet. John Murphy clapping his hands out there. Big free throws coming up for Carter Thomas. Still 1-and-1. And short. He had hit 2 earlier in this half, and now the Papermakers with another. What was it? They were down 6 in this overtime, I believe, right? Pavletsky, whoa, they wanted to travel. Look at Lee Rubbas. He's screaming at the officials. It was close. What a battle between these two great teams. Under a minute to play. 2 timeouts remaining for Kimberly. Pavletsky working. Jumper, good, and the Papermakers with the lead. His legs are still good. And a timeout for the Papermakers, I believe.
When's the last time Kimberly led in this game, Brett?
Did they have a lead late in the half? I can't remember now. So much back and forth and switching. And so full time out, 42.5 seconds to go. And Pavletsky now with 46 points. You know, when he gets into the paint, he kind of gets past that free throw line, gets to be on that 14-foot, 13-foot range, and he elevates. It's going to go in almost every single time.
I mean, he's so good from three-point range, so good at taking the ball to the basket. You know, the mid-range game in basketball has kind of disappeared with the three-point line. It's all either three-pointers or layups, it seems. But not for Pavletsky, man. He's comfortable anywhere on the court, and he's not afraid to pull up in the lane there and take that short jumper. I'm
seeing some more teams, more players utilize that mid-range because it's open a lot, and that's a lost art, and it's there, and I think it's a fairly easy shot. I mean, right, you're inside the paint. It's not a free throw even, so I'd like to see that come back instead of teams always relying on the three or, like you said, buckets underneath.
Well, it's a really easy shot when you're standing up here talking into the microphone. When you're
not gassed or anything. I'm all watered up here,
When you've just played for the last 2 hours at full speed, it's not quite an easy shot.
Come on, Mike. These are teenagers. They can go forever. If they could probably give them a half-hour breather. They could play another 36 minutes.
You heard it here first, folks. Brett Christopherson is suggesting double headers in the FVA next year.
Why not? Just play
double
two.
Header basketball games. Play two.
Why not? These kids, give them a couple subs or some pieces of pizza and let them play again. Emory Jr. has it. Let's see what they come out with from the timeout. Emory Jr. has hit a couple big threes here this overtime period. Guarded closely by Pavletsky.
Kimberly back in the man-to-man now.
A little surprised maybe that they switched back to that. That zone was working so well, but we'll see. Clock running. Pavletsky now creeps closer to Emory Jr. Emory Jr. with a crossover. Finds a lane, and it's in! Got past Pavletsky. What a take for Emory Jr. 8 points this overtime for the senior, and Mike, he's got 28 on the game. He got past the defense. Nobody was there to help, and he just laid it in.
And you talked about being a little surprised that they went back to the man-to-man, and that's what happens. You beat your man off the dribble, the man-to-man. You got a wide open lane to the basket there.
Yeah, that zone was working, but maybe try to throw him off and switch back, or obviously Coach Murphy knows what he's doing. There's no doubt about that. So obviously, maybe trying to throw the Rockets off here a little bit.
Well, and it was good defense by Pavletsky there too, but
better offense maybe by Emory Jr. Give him credit.
Absolutely, just made a better play there. Two absolute stud players going at it there, which is what you want in the final 10 seconds of an overtime game. And on that occasion, Emory Jr. got the best of Pavletsky, but now Pavletsky and the Kimberly offense have 7 seconds to try to answer.
Did Kimberly burn a timeout? Is that who they must have taken it, right?
Correct. Yeah, Neenah's out of timeout. So
yeah, and I thought so was Kimberly. I thought that was the last timeout too, but I could be wrong. Looking at the scoreboard, shows 2 timeouts remaining for Kimberly. I don't think so. But credit Emory Jr. He is quick as a cat as well, and once he was able to kind of get around the hip of Pavletsky, it was over. And we know how the great footwork of Pavletsky. So 2 great players going at it. Here we go, 7 seconds to go. Watch out, Pavletsky. Oh, they didn't call it, and they were trying to foul Mike. And it ends, and that's how it, there's no call. The game is over. Kimberly can't believe it. Look at the celebration by the Rockets. That's it. That's ball game. And the Rocket student section is on the floor.
Pavletsky in the open court, Brett. Pater knew he was beat, so he reached out to grab him.
They had fouls to give. They only had 14 fouls. The officials didn't call it. They're off the floor. Game's over. Pavletsky, he's under the hoop. He can't believe it right now.
Yeah, Pater was beat. They had fouls to give, as you said, and he tried to grab him. He did grab him, and they did not make the call.
And the Rockets with a 1-point victory, 83-82. What a finish. And not only that, but he laid it up. I thought that was going to roll in. It rolls out, and what an amazing win for the Rockets, but what a gut punch of a loss for the Papermakers. Another thriller between these 2 teams. Wow. I don't know I'll let you talk for a while.
What do you say? Unbelievable finish. Unbelievable game. I think even Neenah knows. I think Coach Rubbis knows they got away with one there at the end. Coach Murphy being diplomatic there, shaking hands with the opposing team. I think he knows Neenah got away with one there.
Wow.
But doesn't take anything away from the incredible overtime victory there by Neenah. Especially a great overtime by Chevalier Emery Jr.
Unbelievable game, unbelievable finish. A little controversy there at the end. I think that's fair to say. Kimberly bench was irate. And the officials quickly off the floor, and the student section for the Rockets quickly onto the floor so they could celebrate and make sure there wasn't a last-second change of opinion maybe.
Yeah, you don't want to. And it was so loud, too. You didn't know if maybe a split second there if the whistle had blown and you just didn't hear it. There was a little bit of a pause there. Everybody looking around like they were expecting the foul to be called.
Yeah, I kind of even I was looking at official because it was so loud thinking, was there a whistle or what? Official didn't see it, and he's right there. They have a tough job to do, and you got to respect the call, and that's how this one ends. With the victory, now the Rockets in complete command of the FVA. It looks like they're going to win that conference championship. They have a 2-game lead now over the Papermakers.
Right, with the win, Neenah improves to 20-1 overall, 14-1 in the FVA, Brett. Kimberly falls to 14-7 overall, 12-3 in the FVA. So Neenah with a 2-game lead now in the FVA with 3 games remaining. Neenah plays Oshkosh North on Saturday night. Then they finish up at Fond du Lac and at Kaukauna. Kimberly, meanwhile, plays at Appleton West on Saturday night, and then they finish up at Appleton North and at Appleton East. Just a great ball game, Brett. For better part of the night, it looked like Neenah was going to coast, and then Pavletsky and the Papermakers came back with a great second-half effort. Neenah got the jump in overtime there with the 5 quick points in the overtime.
Wow, what a game. What a game.
Yeah, you never want to see it end with a little bit of controversy there like we did, but again,
credit
doesn't take away with the great effort that both teams put out there. Pavletsky with 46 points, Chevalier Emery Jr. with 28.
Yep.
I think J.J. Piter with 22 points and probably 20 rebounds. I'll go check here in a minute with the coaching staff. But just a phenomenal ball game.
Yeah, and credit Emery Jr. on that great take right at the end to get to the rim. And, again, 2 great players squaring off, and they showed off tonight why they're both going to play Division I basketball, Emery Jr. and, of course, Jackson Pavletsky. And, again, congratulations to Jackson on the career milestone, becoming the career all-time leading scorer, boys or girls, here at Kimberly High School. So,
and congratulations to Maddie Schreiber for holding the record for 1 year.
For 1 year.
I'm not even one full year. But
I'm sure she's pleased for Jackson, but wouldn't be surprised if these two teams they're probably going to meet again somewhere down the line in the playoffs, I'm thinking.
Yeah, you look at it'll be interesting when the seeds come out, because Kimberly with their record at 14-7, those 7 losses, they don't deserve they deserve a high seed, but with a 14-7 record and the computer picking the seeds now.
You want to play that team?
I would not want
like a 5 seed or something. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I don't think they'll end up with a 5 seed. I think the computer program the WIA uses now will be smart enough to realize their strength of schedule and realize how good of a team they are. But you're right. I would not want to face them at the regional level if I'm a high seed and thinking that you're going to get an easy game in regionals. It's not going to happen. I
think all their 7 losses have all been to state-ranked teams. Twice to Neenah, once to Appleton East. That's 3, and then De Pere, Whitnall, Pewaukee, and Menominee Falls.
Correct.
That's a who's who of high school basketball here in the state of Wisconsin. So.
Yeah, and Coach Murphy, he told Ricardo for a story we did not too long ago, he didn't feel bad about it at all. He didn't feel bad about the losses. He wants to challenge his players and challenges his team with a good schedule, and playing against good teams. So
yeah, it's going to be fun to watch here down the stretch. But congratulations to Neenah and Lee Rubbis for pulling out another one, and the top-ranked team in the state of Wisconsin. That winning streak goes to 18 straight. So I'm going to run down the scoring, and then we'll sign off and get the heck out of here.
Well, I'm going to head down if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Get some quotes from the coaches
Mike,
and the players.
thank you so much. You did a great job tonight.
No problem. I'm always happy to fill in. Like you said, Ricardo will be back tomorrow night. So
another big one tomorrow night.
Another big
us,
one for you guys tomorrow night. But it's been a pleasure, and I'm going to go downstairs and get to work.
All right, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. So for the victorious Rockets, Emery Jr. with 28 points, Schloman with 5, Corso with 5, Piter with 22, and he must have had about 20 rebounds on top of that. Young with 18 and Thomas with 15. Unofficial book here. For the Papermakers, Gingras with 4, Polakowski with 9, Stotts with 2, Grawl with 11, Myron with 8, Jackson Pavletsky 46 points, and Van Vonderen finishes with 2. With the victory, the top-ranked Rockets improved to 20-1 on the season, 14-1 in the Fox Valley Association. Rockets now with a 2-game lead over the Kimberly Papermakers in the race for the FVA championship. Speaking of the Papermakers, they fall to 14-7 on the season, 12-3 in FVA play. Up next for Kimberly, they're at Appleton West on Saturday. That's a Fox Valley Association matchup. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. As for the Rockets, they're also playing Saturday night. They're home against Oshkosh North. That's a big one. That's an FVA matchup as well. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:15 p.m. So a tough game coming up for the Rockets against the Spartans. Up next for us, again, our stream team will be back at it tomorrow night for a big Fox Valley Association girls basketball matchup as top-ranked Hortonville hosts second-ranked Appleton East. Live coverage from Hortonville High School will tip off at approximately 7:15 p.m. And as a reminder, you can access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. Don't forget about that subscription deal to the Post Crescent, all of our USA Today Network Wisconsin sites. 3 months, $1, unlimited digital access. Go to postcrescent.com/subscribe, any of our sites /subscribe. And once again, a thank you to our sponsor, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. They have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Contact them today at 920-731-0922 or send them an email at Cooney's, COONEYS0922 at sbcglobal.net. So for Mike Sherry and our guy CC and the rest of the USA Today Network Wisconsin crew, I am Brett Christopherson signing off from Jack Wippich Court here at Kimberly High School. It was a barn burner, another classic between these two storied programs. The final score tonight in overtime, Neenah 83, Kimberly 82. Thanks for watching, everybody.